Oh, hey, we're over here.
Welcome to Jumanji.
Thank you. Happy to be here. I think we're this way. Okay, cool.
Yeah, he had our tickets, but he didn't tell me what theater it is. I don't know. It could be. I guess
Could
we'll
be
try it.
this one?
Try it.
Yeah, let's try it.
Let's try this one. It's gotta be this one. Yeah, it's gotta be.
Oh, good, you found me. My phone died.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Tavern Talk by Initial Reaction. I'm Philip, and joining me this week, Mr. Brian Cooper.
Hello.
You doing all right?
Doing good. How about you? Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for being here. Brian is a fellow film enthusiast, graduated from UCA in the film program, correct?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, and write written reviews. You review movies through the written word.
Yes.
What's the website?
I have a blog. It's called The Scoop with B. Coop, where I just go review movies and give my initial thoughts on them.
Well, perfect segue there, because this is Initial Reaction. We're about to give our initial thoughts. Our initial thoughts on the latest Jumanji movie.
Yes.
Yeah, it's technically the third film, but it feels like the second film of a new kind of set of films, a new trilogy, maybe even.
I feel like they've rebranded themselves enough to where it can like be considered the second film of the.
Yeah, that's what it feels like more than like the third. It's not a final film, that's for sure.
I mean, there are connections to the first film,
right,
like from the '90s, but.
They're getting thinner and thinner.
Yeah.
You know, but but before we jump into all that, this is Jumanji: The Next Level. That's what we're talking about this week. Obviously, it's the sequel to the 2017 reboot of the original '90s classic that starred Robin Williams. And yes, I said classic. I'm a child of the '90s, and I adored that movie. So take what you will. You can stop watching now if you don't think so. But anyway, Jumanji: The Next Level. Again, it has The Rock and Kevin Hart and Karen Gillan and Jack Black. Nick Jonas is also back. Colin Hanks is back. But then we have new additions. We got Awkwafina, Danny DeVito, Danny Glover. So a lot of stuff going on here. A lot of cool developments, I think. And Jake Kasdan returns as the director. He made the first one. He's Lawrence Kasdan's son, which, if you don't know, Lawrence Kasdan is a famous screenwriter.
A big name,
He's a big
for the
name.
Star Wars fans.
Yes, very much so. And but Jake Kasdan has directed kind of his own stuff for a while now. He started with Orange County. I don't know if you remember that one. Colin Hanks was in that one, early 2000s teen comedy. But you've also got Walk Hard. And then like Bad Teacher and some kind of broad comedies. But then he went into the family films with Jumanji, and now Jumanji: The Next Level. So let's kind of just get into it now. Initial reaction, what'd you think of it?
Well, when I first heard about the trailers, I was definitely like, I guess I should have seen it coming, that they were going to make a sequel out of like $1 billion movie.
Yeah, it made $1 billion.
Yeah, that was the surprise.
Right.
But I guess it came out at the right time.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I saw the trailer for it, I was like, okay, this better make me laugh.
Yeah.
And the trailer did make me laugh, so I was like, okay, maybe I'll watch it in January or something like that, when after like Star Wars and everything is all died down.
That's the thing. Yeah.
And no, but I was like, well, let's watch it. Let's watch it now.
Let's watch it
immediately. And I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was at least as funny, if not funnier, than the first one. And they had to find new ways to be funny, because they couldn't just recycle the old humor.
Yeah. They couldn't do the same bit again.
Yeah, they can't do that.
Yeah.
And I think what made it great was Danny Glover and Danny DeVito. They're a different generation, an older generation, And because of that, it's just, them in video games just don't
right
work out.
I'm glad you brought that up.
And it's so just funny how like pretty much almost the entire movie, like they're still, especially like the first 30 minutes they're in the game. They still don't know they're in a game.
Right. No. It's they totally play up the generation gap in between the board games and the video games.
Yeah.
And what was great was I thought it was just going to be kind of the one note deal of, oh, we're going to watch Kevin Hart and The Rock do Danny DeVito and Danny Glover, but
impersonations. Yeah.
But then when they added on to that the kind of like, oh, this is senior citizen perspective on, they have no idea what's going on here, and like just the repeated conversations they had to have with everybody to even get across like what exactly was going on was great. I loved that. Yeah, I was glad they had more to it than what the trailer gave.
Yeah, so that's what to me that's what gave the movie just a fresher take. That's what made it still funny.
Yes,
was just because they were able to have that angle of like a video game, because the first one like it was basically rebranding Jumanji into a video game, so that was its whole shtick.
Right.
And everything about like just video games, like cutscenes and.
And we were going into the game rather than the game coming into the world.
Non-playable characters and stuff like all those little tropes in a video game.
Yeah.
That was really funny. You can't really, it's still funny, but you can't, make that the main point of your humor in the sequel. So just having this perspective come in, it was really good.
Yeah, no, that was definitely my main concern, was that you're obviously going to make a sequel if you made $1 billion the first time, but like, how do you do something different with the same setup? Because it was clear you have to go back into the game because you have The Rock and Kevin Hart and Gillan and Jack Black. Those are your stars. You can't make a movie without them. So you have to go back into the game, but how are you going to come up with a different approach to it? And
why did they go back in? Because I had to have like the audience.
What did you think of that justification?
Reason. I thought it was kind of.
They skirted a little bit.
I think it was a little iffy.
Yeah.
Which I think the movie could get away with because you had very strong characters that were really funny.
Right, yeah.
So that kind of helped, at least, for me to still enjoy the movie. It wasn't like a huge detractor.
Right.
But, the whole reason of why they came in.
I wish they kind of would have hit on it a little hard, because there is like one scene where it's Alex Wolff's character and his girlfriend. When they're in the game, they kind of touch on he missed being The Rock, basically. He missed having that presence, and like he wanted to relive that time in his life, and he couldn't recapture it. And so there was this. PTSD may be a little extreme, but it's kind of this sense of like, I'm never going to be able to recapture that, and that was something. And
so the only way to do it is to go
back. Like, and they
but unfortunately, a broken game, you just don't become the character that you want.
Yeah, exactly. So they hinted at, and it was almost meta in a way of like saying, oh, this sequel, this is going to be, or like, we did this movie that we loved, it was a great time, and it turned out so funny and good, and just a lot better than people expected. But how do we recapture that? And so
kind of metaphorical.
Yeah. The characters are kind of facing the same qualms the producers and directors and the creative team is facing in making the sequel. So I wish they would have kind of let that string go through a little bit more to kind of reinforce why they were here in the first place. But it's still a lot of fun. I think that's the main takeaway. And you have to remember with a movie like this, I guess, like what is it ultimately trying to achieve? And I think it achieves its objective well enough.
It's trying to be funny, and it's trying to be engaging, and it was. We had a family or two with us in the theater, and they were laughing their heads off. So
I would say though, I was kind of surprised. I would say double digits and up on the kids, though. Only a lot more language than I thought.
A lot more language than I was like, oh, okay. I don't think kids 12 and under.
Yeah.
Or maybe 11 and under. Just like use discretion, parents.
Yeah, it is PG-13, so fair warning. But it was more than I expected it to be.
Yeah, if you let your kids watch Avengers Endgame, then sure Jumanji 2 would be okay.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. There are some gruesome, somewhat gruesome
deaths.
Speaking of,
so like in the movie, if you haven't watched the first one, I mean, the whole concept is you're in a video game, you get extra lives and stuff. So the deaths are played for laughs.
Right.
As gruesome as they are. Yeah. Because I think in the trailer, it's like, one of the characters gets, eaten by a giant anaconda-like snake.
Yeah.
And so, it's shocking at first. So they kind of use the shock factor humor in there. And I laughed, and it was great.
I laughed, but then I kind of leaned forward and was like, is that kid okay down there? Like, are they?
Yeah. It's like a little, I'm fine.
But no, it was, but outside of that, like, I kind of, it definitely moves on from, like we were saying in the beginning, the original movie, like the Robin Williams movie. It kind of moves away from the tone of that one, from kind of this more, I don't know, like, it kind of had a more mythological sense to it, you know what I'm saying? And it moves more to the broad comedy here.
Yeah, because the first, like, the Robin Williams Jumanji was very dramatic, very emotional. There was, they definitely got the sense that there was a ton at stake here.
Yes, yeah.
Because you had a kid that, grew up, like, basically inside a board game.
Yeah.
As an adult, not knowing how to act, just been missing for years and years and years. Everything's changed.
Yeah, it's traumatic, really. And
whereas in this series of Jumanji, I'm guessing it's going to be a franchise now.
Yeah. It feels that way.
Yeah, it feels like it. Yeah, it feels like it's going in that direction. It's definitely more comedic.
Yeah.
Than that. So there are some emotional bits, but kind of like you talked about, they skirted around a lot of emotional points there. There were some good points, especially towards the end for somebody.
Yeah, and they do a good job of like kind of delivering a message of like everybody's worthwhile in some way. Like they can contribute in. It may not be the most obvious of ways or the biggest help of ways, but there's always some way to contribute, and you have a skill that's always beneficial, no matter if you think you are not. Yes, exactly. It delivers that in a sly enough manner where it's not like screaming at you.
Yeah, it's not screaming at you, and it's also played for laughs, as the movie tends to do. Especially with Jack Black's character.
Everybody's really
Everyone
good
hates
here.
his character because it seems like he's not good at everything, but he does have uses, and they come into play.
And we should we really should say, like, The Rock doing Danny DeVito, Kevin Hart doing Danny Glover, Awkwafina eventually doing Danny DeVito.
Oh, yeah.
They're all... it's really fun. That's definitely one of the more entertaining aspects of it. The only downfall of it for me was kind of they have the stakes obviously with the 3 lives, but there just wasn't as much of an urgency to it, and I felt like it could have maybe been about 20 minutes or so shorter, especially if you're going for like a young teen audience there. You could have shaved about 20 minutes off, and I think you would have gotten a tighter movie and a more exciting one, and maybe just kind of left more of a better taste coming out. Whereas I was kind of like, that was fine. I was a little long, but it was...
I felt like the deaths were a bit too casual at some point.
I was like, are we keeping track here?
Yeah, because in the first movie, it's like they were definitely keeping track of how many lives they had left, whereas it seemed like towards the middle of the movie, or even towards like this beginning of the third act, it's just like... How many deaths have you had?
Calm down, yeah.
just like, let's
you
make
can
sure
get laughs in other ways.
Make sure the laughs or the stakes are still there. That was something that they kind of just dismissed, and I guess they did that because it's like, okay, we've done this trope before in the first movie.
Right.
They know what's going to happen.
You can tell they're definitely not trying to repeat themselves, at least. They're trying to recapture what made the first one successful, but they're not, resting on those aspects of it. But no, so on Tavern Talk, we do out of 5 stars.
Okay, yeah.
So initial reaction coming out of Jumanji The Next Level, what would your initial reaction rating be?
All right, for me, I would probably give it probably like 3.5, 3.75 stars or something like that. I think it was as good, if not a little bit funnier, than the first movie. It's definitely a good sequel.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely a solid sequel, which is always, you never know what you're going to get. It could go really either way, strongly in either direction.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, most sequels tend to just fail to capture the magic of its predecessor and what made it great. I kind of agree with that. I would say that would be the case for Frozen 2, but for Jumanji's case, it's just like they kept kind of the heart of what made it special in the first one here, and I think it would be a pretty. I think it's going to make a lot of money.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I would go right below that. I'm going to go 3 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I think I did still like the first one a little more, and that may just be because I went into that not expecting it to be nearly as good as it was, and it was a nice surprise. And this one I was kind of hoping for more, and it delivers a lot. I liked the approach they took to it. It's really funny. All the actors are having a blast. But I think they could have tightened it up a little bit. I think they could have upped the stakes a little more and kind of toned down when we were talking about the language and the violence and everything. I think they needed to find a better balance for their audience there.
Yeah.
So just a few detractors, but overall really fun. Excuse me, really fun. 3 stars is still good. I really enjoyed it and would definitely recommend at least seeing it on a big screen.
Oh yeah,
because the visuals are
at least
for sure.
at least watch it with a group of people.
Yeah, and if you're near a movie tavern, definitely check out Jumanji on the big screen at a movie tavern. As you know, we get to shoot the show and see the movies here every week. It's a great experience, a really unique experience. You can come in, sit in these comfy recliners, hit the button, order a full meal, drink, popcorn, candy, whatever you're feeling like, and they'll bring it right to your seat. So if you're near a movie tavern, definitely check out that experience, and thank you to Movie Tavern for having us. That said, thank you for being here. Anything else you wanted to add? Anything else coming up about Jumanji, or what was it? B Coop with the Scoop?
Oh yeah, the Scoop with B Coop.
The Scoop with B Coop. I messed it up.
That's my blog.
I'm sorry.
No, you're totally fine. Yeah, I have a fun, unique rating system that I use over there. So I always tend to imagine a movie as like a person walking down the street.
Okay.
It's like, it's like if I saw them walking down the street, how would I greet them? And so my highest rating would be like a secret handshake. That'd be the equivalent of 5 stars. 4 stars would be, a high five. 3 stars a wave. 2 stars leave you hanging. 1 star slap in the face, and then 0 stars you're getting a mug and out of the back.
So I'm kind of like.
So this one would be like a low high five.
It's like okay.
Yeah.
It's like that's what we think of Jumanji.
Yeah.
No. All right. Well, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it. And thanks for taking the time out. And I just appreciate you coming to talk Jumanji with us. So
Absolutely.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thanks, man, for having me.
Absolutely. We'll definitely come back anytime you want to talk movies.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to hit the subscribe button below. We have a new video every week of the big review of the biggest release. So hit that bell as well. You get a notification when we upload a new video. If you want to get some of my written reviews, you can go to reviewsfromabed.com. A lot of different stuff that we don't get to review here is on that site. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Oh, hey, I'm glad you heard my drum beat.